Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. It's Friday night, as always. I'm here with you, and we're going to do 2 full hours of the Paranormal Portal, and so I hope you all are ready. I'm absolutely wiped out, running on fumes, as it were. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I am also joined here by my good friend and co-host, the big toe of the Paranormal Portal himself, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing, brother?
I don't care what you say. I just don't care what you say. I wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't?
No, that's not what I meant to go. I would still be here. I don't know. Happy to be here. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, brother, and happy Friday to all of you out there, and welcome to your weekend, as it were, as it now embarks for several of you that work the Monday through Friday grind. I'm exhausted, and I'll tell you why. Because last night, Charles Howard Johnson and I went and did an investigation at the haunted Davenport Hotel in Spokane, Washington, and had an incredible time. Some amazing phenomena reared its head while we were there. Just really surprisingly active place, and we got some really cool stuff. Hopefully it's all committed to film, as well as I believe it is, but several things were definitely captured, and we'll be able to show that to you guys. Just some neat things that were happening. Nothing dark, nothing scary, nothing frightening, but it was just like we were joined by some people that we weren't really readily able to see. So nothing visual that we really caught, other than some lights that were triggered, and definitely a lot of electrical issues dealing with batteries and stuff. A lot of that. One was my micro cassette recorder, or my digital recorder. I have a little one, and then I got a bigger one, and I had the little one out, and we were doing an impromptu EVP session, and all of a sudden I looked down, and it was, from the batteries were nearly all the way full, and all of a sudden they were down to 1 bar. I'm like, well, hey, I was going to leave this run, but I think I'm going to shut it off. I got home, and it's back up to full again. So just that kind of weirdness that was going on, and including some equipment that kept getting messed with. Charles had he had tested all of his equipment before leaving home, and once we got there, his cameras were going on or off, or wouldn't work and then would work. It was just really incredible. Wow. And so I'm going to be compiling a video about the whole investigation for you guys. But let me tell you, it was about one of the most stunningly beautiful hotels I've ever seen in my life. And then I can't claim to have seen many beautiful hotels, but this one was the jewel box of them all. It was just an incredibly humbling experience to go there initially anyway. And I just can't thank Charles enough for bringing me with him for this journey. He and I got along great, had a great time. We worked very well together, and we do plan on doing more investigations in the future.
Sweet.
So, and including some pretty fantastic sites that he has the ability to get us into, some of which I'm sure you've heard of. So keep watching for that. I'm going to put together that video compilation of the investigation as soon as I can. It will be updated to our YouTube channel, which is where you may be watching this now. And if you're only listening, of course, you can also watch the show live. If you head over to youtube.com/paranormal portal. That's where Don and I are. Portal. So it was really great. Don, sorry you couldn't make it last night, but we'll definitely drag you along for the next one.
Yeah, I got to know a couple weeks ahead, though. So
yeah, I think you did this time, but it was just that it was too much.
Right.
Yeah, I mean we had.
Well.
But
I couldn't get it.
That's what I mean. It's tough when you're balancing schedules and stuff. But it was really an amazing time. Special thanks again to Charles for bringing me along.
Hi, Deb.
That was incredible. Hi, Deb. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get through here tonight, but I want to take a moment to give thanks to one of the sponsors of the Paranormal Portal, currently the only sponsor, but thank God we got one. And this, of course, is Cryptid Coin, ladies and gentlemen, a new cryptocurrency that is got its heart in cryptid research.
Sweeping the world.
And investigation, hopefully sweeping the world. We're really excited about it. Of course, a lot of people are going towards cryptocurrencies for investment opportunities because of all of the problems with fiat currencies and traditional means of investment are kind of up in the air right now. The economy is really doing wacky, and I'm not trying to give anybody advice. I'm not capable of doing that. I don't know anything. But I do know that I'm excited that Cryptid Coin has sponsored the show. Special thank you to Cryptid Coin for taking us under their wing. And if you want to learn more, go over to cryptidcoin.io. Again, cryptidcoin.io. And find out more about Cryptid Coin as a possible investment opportunity for you. It's now available on Pancake Swap, so makes getting involved even easier. So check it out if you're looking for an opportunity. That may be one. All right, Don, what are you thinking, brother?
I think we should start the show with the segment called The News.
The News.
The News.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to the news now. Let's do it. All right, here we go.
Do it.
It's time for the news. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The Chuck Wah guitars. Chuck Wah. We are here at the Portal News Desk, and we got a bunch of news to get through here tonight with you guys. So hopefully you're looking. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can always use it, but by God, maybe it'll be something new to you. Maybe it'll be new, and that's why we call it the news.
Oh, hold on a sec.
What? Thank you. We have a button for that.
Yeah,
there
but that's just me, my courteously laugh for you. So
I was
warming up.
Just
so, yeah.
Thanks. Thanks. I need more charity, especially in the terms of laughter. But we are going to get into some news that I've curated on your behalf, and hopefully you will leave here knowing something more than when you came. So it's possible. You might actually forget a few things, but because we might have like a negative informative effect on you. Actually sucks information out of your head and leaves you just dull and staring into the distance.
Kind of like me.
Right. The long beard effect. All right. Unexplained-mysteries.com brings us this first article on our newscast tonight. And this is apparently some doctor filmed 2 UFOs over his house in England.
Wow.
Yep. Even doctors get close encounters, ladies and gentlemen. And let's check this out. There's a screen capture, I guess.
Did they do the probing stuff? What kind of doctor was he?
Proctologist, maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
Jim, I'm a GM.
All right, Dr. Muhammad Salama has been putting his bins out when he spotted 2 objects moving erratically in the sky. The mysterious orbs of light were captured on camera over his Harborne area of Birmingham at about 10:30 p.m. on Sunday night. The clip lasts about 38 seconds and shows the objects moving rapidly in varying directions, zipping one way and then another, with one moving off out of the frame at high speed. I've never seen anything like it before, said Dr. Salama. I don't think it was a plane, drone, laser, or star because of how fast it moved and the way it maneuvered in different directions. It was high above the clouds and it seemed to shoot off to the horizon in a matter of seconds. It was rather incredible, really. The brightness of them was quite remarkable, too, and that was something else which made me think this could be a UFO. I've never believed in them until now. It was such a strange experience, and I really think this could be a UFO. That's interesting. Even doctors, Don. It looks like we could potentially show what he viewed, and this is only for our viewers on YouTube because, of course, the rest of you won't be able to see, but currently we're showing it. It looks like it's, there's something zipping around in the sky there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's an ad. Thank you for the ad on YouTube clip. It is visible through the clouds. It doesn't look like a laser because I don't think there's many white lasers out there, which is what this would have to be, isn't it? You ever heard of a white laser, Don?
Not a white one. No.
Yeah. There's green, red, blue, but I can't ever remember hearing of a white laser. So
I've heard of a white wedding.
Yeah.
Not a white laser.
No. Well, that was it.
Wow.
It's not a remarkable clip for those of you that were just watching. It's just a little dot of light moving up around in the sky, but it doesn't look like traditional aircraft. I'll say that.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
That's true. Yeah.
Doesn't look like it could be like a spotlight or a pinpoint of light, because it does have a real fine location of it. So it would almost seem to be needing to be a laser if it was, but again, it's white colored. So I don't know. Whatever he saw, he got it on film. You can check it out by going to unexplained-mysteries.com and look for the article called Doctor Films UFOs Over His House in England. England, as it were. So you might not have known that before you came into the show today, but now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. So we are informing the world, Don.
You didn't know you needed to know, but now you know because you needed to know.
And now you don't need to know because you know.
What?
Now you don't need to know because you already know.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get to the next one here on the Paranormal Portal News Fest. That is our news segment. And this one...
Oh, my gosh.
This is a brand new one, too.
Wow.
This one is coming out of, definitely out of the body function category and the bizarre category as well. And this is... Man eats ham sandwich, can't stop, excuse my language, but farting for 5 years. 5 years from ham, Don. What do you got to do to ham to make it that...
I don't know.
to make it hang around in this guy's colon for about 5 years, first of all, which probably details a whole bunch of health problems that don't have necessarily to do with a ham sandwich, but have to do with the fact...
I don't know how you could prove that the ham sandwich gave you gas.
Well, let's see what the article says. This is from July 29th. It's brand new.
Ooh.
It says Tyrone Prodis was taking legal action after the sandwich he ate 5 years ago left him with a never-ending bout of flatulence.
It's called IBS, bro.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame that on a sandwich. Good luck with that case. And whatever attorney picked that up for you, they probably need to re-examine their life.
It's an ambulance chaser.
The bizarre situation began when 46-year-old who hails from Chippenham, England, purchased and ate an unassuming ham sandwich at a Christmas market in Birmingham in December of 2017. Not long afterwards, however, he became quite ill and ended up having to spend weeks in bed. What? Even after recovering, he continued to experience excessive flatulence, and even now, 5 years later, this particular symptom has continued unabated. Now, Prodis is suing the market for nearly $250,000.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see that standing up. The claimant continues to suffer from excessive flatulence, which causes him a great deal of embarrassment, his lawyer said. The symptoms are primarily fatigue and altered bowel function associated with churning within his abdomen and flatulence. That's disturbing. The claimant's stomach continues to make frequent churning noises to the extent his sleep can become disrupted. Oh, poor guy. The extent of the symptoms has been life-changing. The market has since denied the allegations that the ham had been contaminated with salmonella. Even then, 5 years, come on, people. This is not a sandwich doing that. This guy just probably hit his 40-year prime or something and just his body changed. Whether Prodis will be successful in this case against the firm, however, remains to be seen.
I wonder if he eats bacon.
I don't know.
I wonder if he eats any other pork products at all, ever, including gelatin.
He should just go vegan. See how that works for him.
Yeah.
Just reboot that whole digestive thing.
Because the more vegan you eat, the more flatulence you'll actually have.
Really? Is that true?
Because of all the fiber. Well, it's not necessarily true, but it could happen. Anybody who eats enough, cabbage and
cabbage,
broccoli
yeah.
and
cabbage will light up your day.
Yeah.
I did a cabbage soup diet years ago.
Oh my gosh.
When I was trying to lose weight. Oh my God, that stuff is horrible. It was like chewing on cardboard soup. Oh, horrible stuff. And you're right. I was plenty gassy, I'm sure. There you go, folks. There is no end to the frivolous litigations that'll be brought in the name of the law. And that's absolutely tragic.
I'm the law.
I'm the law. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I guess that may be a law, too. That's what happens when I execute it.
Yeah, when I execute the law. All right. Well, that's a disgustingly childish story, but it's a true story. So as tragic as that is, yep, that's the state, the legal system in our Western world, because it was from England, but still. It wouldn't surprise me to see something like that in the U.S. All right, here's the next one up, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Again, great site. Please check them out. They do wonderful, wonderful work over there. Some fascinating reporting. I guess, you remember in Star Wars when C-3PO was playing the Chewbacca in that chess game? Yeah. Well, droids don't rip your arm off when they lose. Well, apparently droids do rip stuff off. Because here we have an article from unexplained-mystery.com, and it's a horrible article, really. Chess robot breaks boy's finger during tournament. The bizarre accident occurred when the robot was playing a game of chess against a 7-year-old opponent.
What?
The AI chess players and autonomous robots playing an ever-increasing role during tournaments, it was inevitable that something would go wrong sooner or later. Sadly, the prediction came true in disturbing fashion during the recent Moscow Open when a chess-playing robot grabbed the finger of an unsuspecting 7-year-old opponent. Unable to release himself from the robot's grasp, the boy was able to attract the attention of 2 men nearby who rushed over and attempted to force the robot to let go. They eventually managed to release the boy. However, it turned out that the robot's grip had broken his finger. According to Sergei Smegin, vice president of the Russian Chess Federation, the problem had occurred because the boy had moved too quickly after the robot had taken one of his pieces.
Blame the kid.
Yeah, how about you just lighten the grip up on your robot a little bit? I mean, it's playing chess, for God's sake. It's not pulling boards out. The robot did not like such a hurry. He grabbed the boy's index finger and squeezed it hard. The people around rushed to help and pulled the finger out of the young player, but the fracture could not be avoided. Yeah, don't be so sure, Han. It looks like the droids just do fine on their own. Much like Wookiees when they don't like what's going on.
I take it Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics does not count in this, right?
Might not have been implemented in this actual series of chess bots. We don't need the 3 laws in the chess bots, do we? Now we're fine.
We're all right.
We can skip that. They're chess bots. Well, there you go. Should not have been happening. I don't know why it had to grip so damn hard. It's moving chess pieces.
Yeah, well,
There you go, folks. Bet you didn't know that before you came in. Now you know. All right, let's go to the next one up on our Festival of News fun here. And this one is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com as well. And this is mysterious holes discovered in the ocean floor, Don.
Really?
Not Mel's hole, but there's some other holes in the ocean floor, apparently.
Oh, boy.
And this is from Unexplained-Mysteries as of the 28th of July. The NOAA has appealed to the public for help explaining the presence of a line of holes at the bottom of the sea.
Wow.
There's a line of them, Don.
A line of them.
The unidentified holes, which appear in a straight line, are intriguingly consistent in size and shape, were found 2,660 meters down by scientists in the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or the NOAA, during their voyage to the Ridge 2022 expedition into the mid-Atlantic. As things stand, nobody seems to know who or what created the holes or why. The mystery has prompted the NOAA to appeal to the public for assistance. Really? What do you think somebody at the market's going to know?
We know that there are fish down there that create these huge geometrical
shapes
just because they're trying to get
attract
a girl.
Mates. You're right. That's true. As things stand, nobody seems to know who or what created the holes or why. Okay, Facebookers, time to get out those scientist hats. The Facebook post reads, on Saturday, Okeanos Dive, we observed several of these sublinear sets of holes in the sediment. These holes have been previously reported from the region, but their origin remains a mystery. While they look almost human-made, the little piles of sediment around the holes make them seem that they were excavated by something.
Oh, gosh.
What's your hypothesis? I'm with you, Don. I'm thinking it's fish.
Yeah, clams,
Yeah, something.
Some kind of bivalve.
Something is digging in the sediment looking for food or trying to...
It's a hard one to figure out, Brent. Wow.
Let's go with fish, Don.
Hey, you know what they need to do?
What?
They need to get somebody to give them a grant.
Yes, they should probably
Free
study
money
that.
for nothing.
They should probably study that for a good 10 years.
That's the only way they get their chicks for free.
They get the checks for free.
Oh, good point. Yeah, there you go. They get the checks for free. Yeah.
Money for nothing and your checks for free.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. I don't know, but it might be a new line of study for someone that's looking for some time to spend in the ocean floor. So there you have it. I don't know.
Here's some money. You got some time? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Do that. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
There are holes in the bottom of the ocean.
No, what could be doing that?
Well, holes.
A horse, of course.
Oh, of course, a horse.
A horse, of course. Seahorse. Were you going to say that? Were you going to say it?
No.
Okay.
But it's the, Mr. Ed. Anyhow,
Broke something here.
Oh.
As usual.
But I was going to say, we talk about Hollow Earth all the time, and maybe, there's, and well, when we were talking to Brooks Agnew, he was talking about, the Hollow Earth and the 1,500 species of brand new stingrays and manta rays, and it's like, what? Why is this such a mystery?
Why is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but could be
something to do with that.
Something.
Bird,
those
sure.
holes might be the Ziploc storage
Exactly.
layer between this and the underworld. Who knows? It's going to rip open. It's the perforated line, Don. You just tear on the perforated line.
Yeah, tear on line.
Here's the next story from unexplainedmysteries.com. Brings us the following story. Woman rents car and finds a corpse in the boot.
Oh!
Or a trunk,
wow.
as we know them here in the States.
It's all a boot.
A woman from Ireland had been driving a rental car when she discovered something that made her blood run cold. The woman, who was in her 20s, had rented out a car and was heading to the village of Mullinavat in County Kilkenny when she noticed a bad smell coming from inside the vehicle.
And the rental company didn't notice this?
Yeah, nobody checked this car? What the hell are you guys doing? Upon stopping to investigate, she was shocked to discover a dead body in the boot of the car. The deceased, a man in his 40s, had been reported missing and was believed to be the person who had rented out the vehicle immediately
Who
beforehand.
returned it?
Right. I mean, come on, really?
Did the bad guy return the car with the guy in the back?
Yeah, good job on those quality checks, whoever the hell owns that car. She picked up the car at one of the go-kart depot spots, and in just a short drive out to where she was heading, the village of Mullinavat, I'd say around 5 miles. One of the woman's close family friends was quoted as saying, while she was driving, she noticed a funny smell. She didn't know what it was, thought it smelled like gas, and thought it might be coming from the car engine when she started the car. Oh. But it didn't go away, and she stopped the car when she got to the Millavent, and that's where she made the shocking discovery. There was a body of a dead man in the boot. The rental company has since confirmed that it has been assisting the police in their investigation. I'll bet you are.
Yeah.
I'll bet you got a lot of investigating to do. It remains unclear how the man died or how long he'd been lying in the boot before he was found. How long does it take to start stinking? I mean, that's gross, but I mean, really, is this days? Are we talking days or just hours?
I'm sorry. When we went to Kelso and we turned that car back in, I know they turned that car upside down.
Yeah, looking for ways for charging us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Looking for anything they could charge for.
And nobody could figure out that there was a dead body in basically the trunk of the car.
Yeah, that's not
just ridiculous.
They got some real quality control issues there. That's horrible. I hope. I mean, obviously, the guy was in the boot of a car. Somebody put him there. So I'm betting he didn't die of, choking on his soup or something.
Exactly.
I think he was probably helped.
Nobody missed the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeez.
So I think there's foul play afoot.
No.
I would think that'd be safe.
Do you think there's foul play a boot?
A boot. Like what you did there. All right, so what a disturbing story.
A foot in the boot.
There's a bunch of foot in the boot.
Gosh.
Couple foot, and the rest of it. So that's horrible. I think that's...
was it Faulty Towers Car Rentals? That's good. That was good.
Basil.
Thank you, Basil.
Yeah. I liked Faulty Towers. I like that show a lot. All right, let's go to the next one while we still got moments to spare here. And we're getting down there to the 1 minute mark. Maybe we stop the news there.
Yeah, I think we should call it a news day.
We'll call that a newscast, and we'll get back to the rest of the show and just in time for our break. So,
there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a production of the Paranormal Portal News. Now on to the rest of the program. I'm beatboxing, folks.
The fat boys are back.
All right, the most trusted news, ladies and gentlemen. And I beatboxed it for you guys just because that's the kind of love I give to all of you here. We're going to head to the break, so don't go away. More of the portal coming up in just moments. Moments.
Because we know you can't get enough.
All right, we'll be right back. God bless you. All right. Hey, Don.
Hey.
We're back.
Hey, we're back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back.
Bad habit.
Glad we didn't lose you in the commercial break, but
horrible
welcome back,
thing.
everybody. We have a lot more of the paranormal fun you've come to love here on the Paranormal Portal, just waiting for you. And hopefully I can execute it all in tasteful fashion.
I'm the law.
I'm the law. Get to the chopper.
No, wrong
That
person.
was Stallone, right? I am the law.
Yes.
Yeah, wasn't that Judge Dredd?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I know some things.
But you said get to the chopper.
I know. I just went for the more
that
of the
was-
tough guy stuff. It's tough guy stuff, Don. They're all tough guy stuff.
There was a movie called The Expendables,
Yeah.
and had those two in it.
Yeah.
And one Stallone's acting kind of out of sorts, and
Uh-huh.
somebody looks at Arnold and says, "Well, what's wrong with him?" He says, "He wants to be president." He was governor of California at the time.
Oh, funny.
Oh well.
Well, someone's got to do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was such a loaded thing to say. Sorry. Leaving it there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got more of the paranormal here on the deck, and I've got an article I thought would be kind of fun to get into. Just disclosures. A lot of this stuff gets repeated all over the place. I found an article that I thought would be fun to cover because it's something we haven't talked about for a long time, but it comes up quite a bit in the paranormal, and thought it'd be interesting. And I'm talking about doppelgangers, but we've covered doppelgangers before. I don't know how many stories are out there. So if you're listening to the show for a long time, you're like, hey, I heard that one already. It's not me trying to recycle stuff. I just can only find so much material to work with. But I would like to say, if any of you all want to call in, the phone lines are open. Of course, you can call in. The number, if you're looking on YouTube, is on both mine and Don's lower third there.
It's right there.
It's right on the screen. You can't miss it.
923-0500.
And that's how you get a hold of us. If you've got something paranormal to share that you'd like to bring to the table, and we can discuss, we can certainly do that. Otherwise, Don and I'll be happy to fill in
The
rest of the show.
We'll eat a ham sandwich. We'll fill everything in.
Might get a little bit gassy, but we'll go with
we'll
it.
start from the bottom and head to the top.
We'll stick around
Wait.
for like 5 years in your digestive tract, too.
Well, we've been doing this show for 5 years.
Oh, at least, yeah. 2017 to now, that's 5, right?
That's 5.
This is our 5th year on YouTube. Wow. 5th year on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for those of you that have come and supported what we're doing and became part of the family, whether just by subscribing or if you became a member.
Fools.
Yeah. What the hell? That's not the spirit we're supposed to do this in, Don.
Oh, sorry.
We love them dearly. They are our friends and family.
There
for
you
God's
go.
sakes.
Yes.
You're not a fool.
And that's because Portal Mom's out there.
Portal Mom.
And
Yep.
Deb. Hi, Deb.
And Deb. Portal Deb and Portal Mom.
And Deb's the one that's been with us the longest in the chat right now.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, she's been with us for...
Well, who's in the chat, Don? Why don't you tell us?
Shout-outs? Oh, sure.
Let's do shout-outs. If you're in the chat and you want to shout out, just be sure to type something.
So that gives us Casey Jones, Don's 2U2. There's Miss Deb, Dr. Manhattan. Jess is here. Hi, Jess. Con Squatch is here. Karen. Hi, Karen. Haven't seen you in a while. Sorry you've been feeling bad. Yeah, I noticed that you've been saying, you've been missing it because you've been sick. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, we're sorry to hear that. Yeah. Get
Maggie
better.
M10 is here. Rachel gets it right. Ron the Sage. Ruger Ridge. Susie 2 Anyone. And the Northmen.
The Northmen.
So, there you go.
Welcome to you guys. Thank you all for being here. And to those of you that will come in, if you were sitting there quietly just watching, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the journey.
Wait. Hold the phone. Tony Merkel is here.
Oh, hey, Tony. How you
How
doing,
you doing,
brother?
buddy?
Welcome to the show. It's good to hear you or see you or know that you're there, lurking in our shadows because
go.
we miss you.
There you go. There's your shout out, my friend.
We don't miss an opportunity to acknowledge our professional
Oh, I
friends as well.
forgot to tell you. Never mind. I can't tell you that yet.
What do you mean?
I have an
What does
idea.
that mean?
I have an idea.
Jesus.
I have an idea.
Okay. All right.
And we have to give it to the unknown. I think, yeah, him.
Okay.
The one that's doing the little thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing.
The thing.
All right. Well, we won't disclose what that thing is.
Because it's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Fantastic. Well, we will let's.
So how you doing, Tony? Nice to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, brother. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Merkel, host and creator of the Confessionals podcast, and a longtime friend of the show. And to us personally, thank you for coming in and being a part of the audience. It's awesome to know that you're out there, and maybe Wes is out there too. We don't know.
Yeah, who's that?
He kind of pops up every
Never
once in a
heard
while. So, but anyway,
colds pop up too. So do cold sores.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we're going to get to this article before we lose all our professional associations. People share their eerie doppelganger encounters. Is what we're going to get to before we lose all credibility and professionalism. People share their eerie doppelganger encounters. This is coming from ranker.com, their graveyard shift part, and it was compiled by Amanda Ashley. Now, for those of you that may or may not know, doppelgangers are these weird spiritual phenomena of these entities that looked like somebody that you know. Like maybe you see your dad in one part of the house, you go to another part of the house, there's your dad. Well, one of them's not the real one, and one of them is a doppelganger. So,
or he calls you from Tahiti.
What? I was getting my cigarettes. Oops. No, not that kind of
Sorry,
story.
been gone for 5
Different
years.
story. Different story.
Sorry.
That's not a doppelganger, Don.
Okay.
That's a bait and switch or something there. But no, doppelgangers are weird. A lot of people think that they might be portents of impending death.
Oh.
I don't know that that's the case, though, because, of course, there's been plenty of doppelganger encounters that were just these odd encounters. Now, is it possible for spirits to look whatever they want to look? Could they just put on the visage of a living person to avoid detection? Maybe I don't know, because it's weird. A spirit could just not be seen. They can just be not visible.
Yeah.
Why do they have to be visible? And if they are visible, why pick a picture of the visage of somebody in the house? I don't know, but it's a strange phenomena. Could it be tulpas or thought forms of the other person? Could they be projections?
Dr. Tony Merkel now, huh?
Oh,
Huh?
really?
How's that? Ooh.
Doctor of the Confessionals? What are we doing? I'm Dr. Brent of the Portal.
Damn it, Jim. I'm Jim, not a proctologist.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's more like, damn it, Wes. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I'll just continue to try to look professional here.
All right.
Continue to rake me into the gutter. But what are doppelgangers? We don't know. I don't believe that they're forebodings of a death. I think that they're just these anomalies. They could be thought forms projected from the living. They could be time slips. They could be any number of things. They could be just some prankster, kind of trickster entity. It's anybody's guess. We just don't know. But here are a collection of encounters people had with doppelgangers. So we're going to check them out. This was last updated March 9th of 2021. So let's check out list rules. I don't know. Vote up your doppelganger stories that give you chills. Okay. So number one on this list is they were at the same concert with matching hairstyles and clothing. This is from Reddit user choose_west. This is, of course, an aggregated article where they go on Reddit threads and they farm comments. So I met my doppelganger at a concert when I was 18. I was walking with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, to the main entrance of the venue, and she said, "That guy looks just like you."
Oh, boy.
I looked around until I spotted my double. He spotted me at the same time, and we just stared at each other. And he had the same hairstyle and was wearing a similar attire. He was at the same concert, so no surprise. I remember scrutinizing him, searching for the thing that would convince me that he looked different from me, and I never found it. He seemed to be scrutinizing me the same way, and we ended up walking past each other, just staring at each other. I felt heavy deja vu, and my wife and I still laugh about it. So, Don, what would you do?
I would reach out and touch him.
Would you really?
Yeah, it'd end the paradox, wouldn't it?
No. Well, if it's a paradox, I mean, it could end you up.
Yeah, you know, who could tell? You know, I mean, because there are some people say that, oh no, you could reach out and touch you could touch your double from another dimension. It'll be fine. Nothing will happen. But some people believe that if you do that, it'll unravel your reality. Well, I don't know if that means like our physical reality or like our mental reality, because nobody really knows you, right? Because people have their own points of view about who you are. So nobody really knows you the way you do, right? So think about that.
That's a whole lot to think about. But
I know. I got
if,
deep like Mel's hole.
What? So much about you, but like Mel's hole.
Well, at least I don't eat ham sandwiches. Damn it.
Well, that's true. You'd fill up Mel's hole in a hurry.
Oh my goodness.
So. What if it's a matter antimatter thing? So like, let's say it's a dimensional shift.
It would end your world real quick.
You both disappear into a puff of dust. You're just like Thanos out of it. Poof.
Oh jeez.
There you go.
What's that ash floating through there? Quick, don't breathe. That's Dawn.
Yeah. Oh no. Hairball. All right. Well, I don't know. It's a strange thing, but that would be weird.
That would be the fun thing. Reach out and touch him. See what happens.
Well, I guess
tempt fate.
Somebody's. Yeah. I mean, that's one way to get to the truth of the matter.
That's right. You're right.
The toddler thought he saw his father. This is from Reddit user Sweet Baby Jesus 99.
Oh no.
When I was in college, after a few years in the military, I was in a supermarket shopping with my roommates. And at one point, a toddler runs up to me yelling, "Daddy!" After my heart unfroze, his mother appeared and apologized profusely. And she said, I was a twin to her husband who was away in the military for years.
Wow.
My roommate loved to tell people at parties about the time he met my son.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of a familiar story. So I was actually over here at Super One 2 years ago, and I'm walking down the aisles. And this man, who I've never seen before, is all of a sudden like...
You have to answer the phone.
Oh, yeah, I do. Well, let me get to the story first. I'm walking down the aisles, and this man comes up, and he's got this beard. I've never seen him before. He's like, "Hey!" And he comes up to hug me, and I'm like, "Hey!"
Hey, whoa!
And he looks at me, and all of a sudden this question mark crosses his eyes. And he's like, "Oh, my God, you look exactly like my best friend who lives in the Midwest, and I was wondering what you were doing here," and it was just crazy. So apparently I have a doppelganger out there, too.
There you go.
All right, let's get to the call, and this looks like it might be someone we know. Welcome to the show, caller from out afar. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Dr. Merkel.
Dr. Merkel.
Doctor, I've had this rash. I'm glad you called.
It hurts when I go like this.
How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I do have my doctorate degree now, but we'll say that story for another day.
I'll talk about it. Okay.
All right, brother. Well, what do you... Well, no, we'll get into that another day. All right. So what's on your mind tonight, brother?
I'll demand my doctorate. I'll demand my doctorate respect another day. But
if you're looking for respect, you might be on the wrong show.
yeah,
That's not true.
oh man, no, I had to come into the office tonight to work on stuff, and I opened up YouTube, and I was like, let me go see what I could find to watch. And you guys popped up, and I was like, well, I found what I'm gonna watch.
Oh, very
Nice.
cool, man.
Awesome.
How's everything going?
Good.
Yeah.
Things are going good. I'm down here in Tennessee, living it up,
Yep.
Fantastic.
and feeling good down here.
Yeah, I
A lot
love
better
you.
than Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I love your green room, man. That was a great color, actually.
Yeah, it's not green anymore.
Oh, really?
Now
You changed
it's,
it already, huh?
Yeah, I put up walls and took down the paneling, put up drywall.
Ah,
Real nice in here now.
there you go.
I'll bet. How's your weather down there, by the way?
It was raining when I came in.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And I'm sure it's gonna be raining when I leave.
We're in the
But,
we're in the
yeah,
mild we're in the mild hundreds here.
what's that?
We're in the mild hundreds
Oh,
here.
yeah?
Yeah, dude, it's cooking up here. It's cooking.
Jeez.
I know. You never know.
Yeah, no. I think today was probably 88, 90, something like that.
Oh wow.
We're good.
So now, of course, we've promoted your Dogman show that's published out on your YouTube channel, and what a fantastic job since we got you
Not
on
anymore.
What? Oh, you took it down?
It's not on. It's not on YouTube anymore.
Oh, okay. But
Took it down.
I
I took it down.
oh, okay. You do have another.
I couldn't take the negative comments. They were really hurting my
Really?
feelings.
Were they really? I thought you did a phenomenal job. I thought it was beautiful. I was going to ask you though. You were actually working on another page to that book, right? I mean, like you're doing another one.
Yeah, we're doing it. We did another film. Is that what you're alluding
Yes.
to?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we went out to Utah and did a film on the most famous thing to film in Utah, So I legally don't know. I'm still running through the legalities of what I can and cannot say, but since it's not on the documentary, I can say it, I guess.
Mhm.
We went out to do the Skinwalker Ranch stuff. So
Yay!
Wow.
yeah, like we went out there on a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to. First of all, we couldn't get on the ranch anyways. It's privately owned, and
Sure.
they're not going to let us on.
Yeah.
But we had access to a property that butted up against Skinwalker Ranch, and so we stayed on that property. And the whole angle of the film is to document the area surrounding Skinwalker Ranch to show that it's not just Skinwalker
Sure.
Ranch, it's the entire area. And we went out there to show that to people, and what we uncovered, to be honest with you, is so complex and so huge that I think it doesn't matter what tickles your fancy when it comes to topics of the paranormal and conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
We're going to have a little bit of everything in this film because we uncovered some things. Basically, like in 4 or 5 days of filming on a very limited budget, we've uncovered more information than that entire Skinwalker Ranch show has
Wow.
at all ever.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's some serious stuff. I'm actually flying out to Vegas probably in the next few weeks to do some interviews with some whistleblowers that we've connected with.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
the film's going to come out in the fall,
Okay.
and I'll be able to talk more about it as the time gets closer. But it's going to be off the Richter.
That sounds awesome. And I got to tell you, I for the longest time I never did watch the Skinwalker Ranch series that you're mentioning, because I don't watch TV. I have Netflix, but I just saw just the other day. Oh, they got the Skinwalker Ranch thing, so I've started to watch it. And some of the, even though, anytime you see a production like that on the TVs, you're always like, well, how much of this are they dramatizing? What is the actual real situation here? And you don't know. But I think you're absolutely right that it's not just ever like a microcosm. It would be the whole area, and that was a great approach. I'm really excited to see what you guys have done.
Yeah, so I mean, what it boils down to is the natives, according to their tradition, aren't supposed to sell their land. And with Skinwalker Ranch, that's what happened. The Sherman Ranch, that was bought, and they come in and they're not from the area. They don't know the history, the native history. They don't understand what's been happening in the entire area. And so they buy the ranch and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Our ranch is crazy. And it's like, no, your ranch isn't crazy. Your ranch is nothing special. The entire area is like this. It's just you're an outsider and you're not used to it. And so we went in there to show that. And it's just over the last 30 years, Skinwalker Ranch has blown up to be this phenomenon. It is, but it's not Skinwalker Ranch. It's
The whole area.
Everything out there. In fact, the property we were staying on had some bizarre things happen the week before we arrived, where the owner called me up to tell me, hey, here's what happened on the property, just to let you know, so you know going in. And then neighbors across the street said, I think last year they saw a Skinwalker walking across the property that we stayed on. The things that we found on the property is crazy. And we didn't just stick on the property, obviously. We were all over the place. We ran into a DOD guy while we were out there, and he started talking to us, and just it's just a lot of stuff, man. Like the hole goes real deep. So I'm really excited about it. My director, Christian Roper, he's putting it all together. He's been doing a ton of research and uncovering even more stuff. So he's really like he's like my ace in the hole, man. Like this guy, he really knows his stuff and he really does a great job. So as long as he's on the case, I know for fact people that get to view the film, they're going to be, taken back. I promise you. Like if somebody walks away from the film complaining about it, they don't know what good is. Like that's just being honest. Like your negative criticism of the film is not valid.
That's
so, like I'm just being honest. Like
Sure.
it's going to be that good. And so you cannot agree with everything that's presented. You can have your own thoughts and opinions, but if somebody comes a second way and says that sucked, you're insane, and your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly how I feel about it, because it's really, really, really good.
That's kind of the same way I feel about this channel, actually. but I think I'm really excited to hear it and see it, and Don and I will be awaiting our VIP screening invites,
There you go. Yep.
so we can check it out.
That's right.
We are going to be doing the VIPs. We are definitely doing that. The first time we did VIP, it was just basically you get to see the film early. This time around, because what we're doing is we're not putting this on YouTube. Like YouTube was
Sure.
like the first test run with the first film. Now, I can't just keep investing my own money into this without a return, and neither can the guys.
Sure.
I'm pulling guys from Texas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Colorado. Like we're coming from all over the country to put these films together.
Yeah.
So we're using a distributor, and it's going to be a film on Amazon, Apple TV, probably Roku. It's going to be on like over 100 platforms.
Wow.
Fantastic. Okay.
But shoot, I forget what I was going to say. What did you say? Did you say something? I don't remember.
We're going to have
talking. I didn't
something about a VIP screening.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. So the VIP, the first one, we just did the 2 weeks early, and so if you wanted to see it before the whole world got to see it on YouTube, you did the VIP. This time the VIP, we're going to be offering a lot more cool stuff along with the viewing.
wow.
Probably movie posters, signed movie posters. I don't hold me to this specifically, but
Sure.
we're planning on these kind of things. Like
very
the
cool.
crew's probably going to come out to the studio, and we're probably going to sit around talking about the whole experience together for about 5-6 hours, and we're going to chop it into 5-6 episodes and make it its own little podcast that's going to be for people who
yeah.
are VIPs. So you get to have that, and just a lot of cool stuff like that. Trying to give, we actually have a cast that will be a limited edition.
Cool.
And so it's little things like that. I don't know. I'm letting the guys, like, I guess I'm the face of this whole thing, but, I have a whole team, and so I kind of like follow their lead on certain things that I'm not great at, like marketing and
Sure.
all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I started a podcast 5 years ago. Now I'm a filmmaker. I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going for the ride.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I hear you, brother, but I'm excited for it, and it's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what you turned out, but it's great to hear from you, man. You should call in more often.
Absolutely.
I would love to if I stumble across your show at almost 11 o'clock at night.
Well,
How long are you guys going still?
We'll be going till 9 Pacific is when the end of the show is, so we'll be on for a little while longer.
So you got it like another hour.
Yeah, another hour. So, but you're always welcome, brother.
So let me just tell you a story real quick. Can I tell a story?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
do you have to go to a break?
Nope. Well, we got about a minute and a half. Can you do it in the minute and a half, or do you want to do it on the other side?
We'll do it on the other side.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, because
Is that okay?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, brother. Absolutely. It's great to hear from you, and you're always welcome. So,
Yep.
after the break, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Merkel is going to, President
Dr. Merkel.
Dr. Merkel,
Dr. Merkel.
Commander Merkel,
Doctor, thank you.
is going to share with us a story. And much like you folks, I don't know what to expect, but I know it's a cliffhanger. So, in just moments, we're going to be going to our second break. First break, second break. Yeah.
Second break, yeah.
God, it goes fast.
I know, huh?
And we will come back after that. Tony, I'm going to put you on hold, okay? And we'll come back to you right after the break. All right. Okay, so we're going to hit the break here in just about 20 seconds. Just a quick note. If you're wondering what to do in September, you can join Don and I. We're going to be in Vernal, Utah. At Phenomicon. Yeah, Tony should go to this too.
Yeah,
And,
we have it on good authority that Mr. West and Mr. Cord is going to be there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So we're going to be in Phenomicon, ladies and gentlemen, in Vernal, Utah, September 8th through the 11th. Go to phenomicon.net for more information about this excellent production that's going on in Utah. So check it out, phenomicon.net. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes after the hour break for more of the Portal and, of course, Mr. President, Commander Dr. Merkel. We'll be right back.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger pours inside me as their lies keep falling apart. With my silence, I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise, you're just another fucking gas. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not wrong yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken
Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that's different from themselves. Her life force. It is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are of fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Yes, they can, ladies and gentlemen. They can go on for years, much like some of our episodes. But we like to have a good time. Thank you for joining us. If you're just coming into the show now, we are just starting hour number 2 here on the Paranormal Portal, and we are joined by Don and I are joined by a special caller, a guest, and this is, of course, Mr. Tony Merkel of the Confessionals podcast. Are you still there, Tony?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
All right, brother. So you promised us a story.
Yeah, it's I guess a developing thing. Recently, I'm sure you guys have talked to that at some point. Recently, CERN fired back up, and don't you think it's kind of funny how like CERN fires up right at the same time they dropped season 4 of
Stranger Things.
Of Stranger Things. You know, I don't think. I mean, obviously it's not a coincidence, but I don't think it's the way I just said it. I think Stranger Things was aware of CERN's schedule and they coordinated, which is very smart on their part because Netflix is a dying platform and they need the help. So
yeah, they do.
But so everybody knows what. I mean, I'm sure most of your listeners and viewers have seen Stranger Things, and I'm not going to do any spoilers. But then people know about CERN. And, CERN is not a one and done thing. Like there's a lot of particle accelerators in this world, and CERN is just one of them. In fact, CERN is the biggest, and China is trying to build their own, and I think that's supposed to be bigger than CERN.
Probably.
Scary.
Oh.
So, there's that. But I happened to, years ago, I was I think it was back when I did like my first CERN episode. It was like, I don't know, episode 40 or something like that. I remember reading about the different places that supposedly had these particle accelerators, and I forgot about it until I moved to Tennessee and realized I moved within like 20 minutes of a particle accelerator.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
It's a place called Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It's where they developed the bomb for World War II, and they have a lot of top secret stuff there, including the particle accelerator. And it's one of those things where I was talking to locals, and people when I tell people what I do for a living, they're like, "Oh, you ever hear of Oak Ridge?" I'm like, yeah, I've heard of Oak Ridge. But a lot of locals will say things like, it's kind of like a local secret in the sense that if you're not from around here, they're not going to talk to you about it. But, everybody kind of knows about Oak Ridge. Back in the day when Oak Ridge was being built, I recently bought a cow. A half a cow because I was hungry. And
Which
so I
half?
stuffed it in my freezer. Yeah, the good half. I don't know what the good half is, but it tastes delicious.
All right.
But the guy I bought the cow off of, I was talking to him, and he said that growing up, the old timers, he would talk to the old timers, and they would tell him that they would see a white Bigfoot running around this area, specifically when Oak Ridge was being built.
Wow.
And I it's not like rock solid or anything like that, but I've noticed that this white Bigfoot thing kind of pops up a lot around either places that are governmental or theorized to be areas that have secret governmental places. Like in Pennsylvania, there's the white Bigfoot, and I heavily believe that there is a very large underground military base in the Allegheny National Forest. From the bottom of my heart, believe that.
Sure.
And so, like, he said to me, you know, these old timers would tell him this growing up, and it just so happens that the way everything lined up with my show and the scheduling, I had several episodes being released when I moved to Tennessee, talking about the Smokies, talking about this white Bigfoot entity and all that stuff. And so it was just like coincidental, maybe synchronistic for sure. And then if you want to keep going down the road of synchronicity, it's like everything was pointing to Tony Merkel, Dr. Tony Merkel, belongs in Tennessee. This is where I'm supposed to be. The stars have aligned, and this is the area I'm supposed to be in. So the neighborhood I live in, for the 4th of July, one of the neighbors invited us to like a get together where I guess all the neighbors get together and they shoot off fireworks, do the whole thing.
Nice.
So me and my family go down and we get to meet everybody, and it was really nice. And I got to meet two particular neighbors, and one, he just moved in like a week before. So actually him and his family are newer than my family.
Okay.
And talking to him, and turns out he just got hired over at Oak Ridge. And I was like, oh, what do you do there? And he's like, I'm a nuclear physicist. And I'm like, whoa,
Wow.
that's a big... Did I mention I'm Dr. Tony Merkel? You know, I was like, geez. So I have a nuclear physicist living down the street from me. Interesting. And I said, oh, really? I said, what do they got you doing over there? And he said, I don't know yet. They hired him, but he doesn't have a specific job. It's just like, we'll let you know when we need you. And I'm just like,
Wow.
okay, you know? And so I got that guy. And then at the same party, there's another guy that was over watching his kid play in the sandbox. And my son was over there. And my son, I don't know, probably went up crying or something. So I went over to see how he was doing. And I said hi to this guy. Mm-hmm. And him and I got to talking. And he is former military. And he is he's one of the country's top snipers that we've ever had.
Wow.
And before the COVID stuff happened, I think it's probably Discovery Channel was looking to make some kind of like sniper TV show. And he was one of 5 snipers that they were going to be having on the show doing this whole thing, and then it all fell through. So him and I are talking, and I'm just like, dang, dude, he's been on over 40 deployments. A lot of them were off the books. Like, I mean, he was telling me stories, and because he had a few beers in him, I was like, dude, keep talking. You're talking to the right dude. He's like, what do you do for a living? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. And so he was talking away, and I said, oh, well, what are you doing now? And he said, I just got hired at Oak Ridge.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, really? And so what are the odds? 2 guys at one party. And I'm the third guy at the party that documents this weird stuff. Okay. Like, the stars are aligning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, what are you going to be doing over there? And he's like, they hired me to be a sniper. And I'm like,
what the hell did they
what
need
are you
a sniper
sniping
for?
Yeah.
I said, what are you sniping? And he goes, things that come out of the portals.
What?
And then he kind of chuckled. He kind of chuckled and looked away. And I'm like, is this guy have too many beers in him and he's like making stories up, or does this guy have too many beers in him and he's telling things he shouldn't be saying? Because he's like the portals, and then he's like he kind of like backtracked a little bit. And he's like talking about like some kind of like orientation, and they brought up the particle accelerator and some weird things that happen around that. And I'm just like, yo, this dude is talking. And I got his number, of course. And so like tomorrow I'm going to a birthday party, and him and his wife are going to be there. So I'm going to be round 2. I'm going to
see who you meet there. Wow.
I'm gonna bring him the Heinekens, and I'm like, hey, buddy, So,
Wow.
anyways, so
Wow.
so there's that, and then this I think it was this week actually, just this week or late last week. It was this week, Monday this week. I got an email. I've been talking a lot about portals on my show and CERN and Oak Ridge just because it's on my mind. And
Right.
so, like, quick side story here. For years, because I was driving truck full time and doing podcasting, and I just never wanted to be in a position where I was up against it and didn't have time to interview somebody and not have a show
Right.
for a week. So I constantly interviewed. Constantly, and I built up an archive of interviews, and so moving down to Tennessee, I was able to burn through that archive a lot because I haven't been able to do interviews until recently.
Right.
But that gave me a chance to. Now a lot of the stuff going to be coming out in my show in the next few months is really current interviews, so people are going to hear things that I'm actually thinking about right now. Before it's been like. There's people like, oh, I heard you say on the show. I'm like, yeah, I was into that like 8 months ago. Now I'm not on that. So at the time of this recording, so we're doing these interviews and all that stuff, right? But so this guy, he hears me talking about the portals and CERN and all that stuff, and it turns out this guy that emails me, the subject of the email is the portals at Oak Ridge and demonology. And I'm like, you had me at demonology and portals, So I'm reading this email, and he turns out he lives like probably 10 minutes from my house, like he's really close to me.
Wow.
And in the email, he says, I'm ready to talk about something that happened to me involving Oak Ridge and the undeniable evil demonic entities I know are coming through there.
Wow.
It's a lot to talk about, but I'm coming to you because I heard you mention something about the portals there. I can honestly say it's nothing like you've ever heard, and it's hard to believe, but I swear on my life it's true.
Oh my God.
That being said, it directly involves this hell beast called Dogman, which I now believe is not from anywhere but another dimension.
Wow.
And he goes on to say other things, and so like my wife Lindsay, she does the email. She gets to the emails before I do. She basically deletes all the ones that are going to piss me off and make me waste my time answering.
Sure.
And all that stuff. So, so she gets this email and she's like, what do you think? Should I ask for more information? I was like, no, just tell him to get his butt in the studio. Like, I was like, he can talk to me in person. Like, I don't need any more information. Like, this dude had me at the subject line, So,
man.
He's actually coming into the studio next Saturday, I believe. And we're going to sit down and we're going to talk and record. And we were exchanging text messages, and it seems like he has other things he'd like to talk about as well. It seems like some paranormal things from his childhood and things like that. But I'm going to definitely be saying, hey, pal, we need to make sure that Oak Ridge is the focal point here, because we need to know what you know and what you experience. And hopefully it's not like a dud and he's like, oh yeah, I heard Oak Ridge has some portals, but I've never seen anything, and I heard it from a friend of a friend, because then I'll be like, get out, out.
We're done. This is over. That is crazy though. That serendipity happens like that. That serendipity is just powerful.
People in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a neighborhood you got there, brother. Wow.
So yeah, I'm pretty hyped up on portals right now. Like I just put out so I've been trying to build up my Instagram more. I kind of hang out on Instagram as far as social media goes, and I've also, since I have this facility now that I'm working out of, I have a spot where it's like I can invite bigger name guests in studio
Yeah.
and not be like, hey, come on over to my basement. You know, it's kind of like not really.
You want me to come to your mother's
professional.
basement?
Let me pack up the toys here, and then you
Yeah.
can sit down.
Yeah.
I hear ya.
It you know, it's like, you know, don't worry, I'll turn the lights on. But so I've been noticing though, you know, it's people, and I do the same thing, so I know how it is. Like people will invite you on their show, and what do? I check and see, is it going to be worth my time?
Right.
Sure.
And so if I like, the first thing I do is when somebody, you know, says, hey, can you come on my show? The first thing I do is go to Apple Podcasts and check how many reviews they have. I don't care what their rating is, but
Sure.
you know, how many reviews do they have? You know, because what is their social media following like? You know, because if somebody's going to ask me to sit down and do an hour interview plus 30 to 40 minutes on the front end and back end of personal private conversation, it's a lot of time away from my kids because a lot of people are doing stuff in the evening, you know? So
Sure.
anyways,
Right.
people do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
And so when I'm trying to invite these bigger, you know, like TV show guests and stuff like that, I'm like, hey, I'm a pretty big podcast, you know, I tell them my numbers, but then they go and they look at the social media and, you know, they're like, well, no, that doesn't match. So it's because I've spent all these years building a podcast. I didn't really focus on building social media.
Oh,
So now
sure.
I'm trying with social media. And long story short, to bring it all the way around, I put out a reel today talking about, you know, portals and CERN. And there was like this video that came out recently of this like this pilot was at 31,000 feet in the air, and he filmed like these like red glowing
Yes.
lights in the clouds. And,
Yep.
and I was like,
over the
well,
ocean.
that looks like the portals. That looks like portals from
Right.
season 4. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an
it was like a
interesting
layup.
take.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. I think
Yeah.
I think you're
So,
onto something, brother. You're onto something. That's really powerful.
dude, I'm telling you, man, like portals are real. The upside down is real. If you doubt me, you deny it, you're just fooling yourself. That's where I'm at now. Like it's just like I'm telling you, man, like I hate to be cliche, but if you knew what I knew, you know?
Right, well,
Like,
there is that part of it, though, right?
Listen, for sure. I mean, you guys know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys talk to people too, and you get just through talking with people, you get access to information that just the people that are listening don't always get. And
Right.
I got this one story that I'm coming out with that it's not even gonna be on the confessionals. Like I'm literally creating a brand new podcast just for this story. It's literally that big.
Wow.
And so when that thing comes out, everybody's going to understand where I'm coming from. Because recently I've been talking a lot about portals. I've been saying, guys, this is real. Portals are real. There's other dimensional things going on here. Yes, you can access it, and things do come through. And I'm talking about all this crazy stuff. And they're like, Tony, you're living in Stranger Things. I'm like, I know I'm living in Stranger Things. Come join me. It's real. Like, it's just,
No doubt.
I mean,
Wow.
it like my world last August got flipped upside down. And ever since then, I have just been on this like roller coaster of a ride. And I just can't wait to let the whole world in on what I've been told and what I've been finding. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's undeniable. That's the crazy thing. Like, I got a timeline. Like, my first thought was these people heard my show and created a story for my show to either get on my show, play games with my show, or play me for a fool. But there's a timeline here that I can't get around, because some of the things they're making claims on, they literally have time-stamped dates on that predate my show by 5 years.
Wow.
And like my show starts in 2017. This stuff is happening in 2012 minimum. And then it's been documented in 2012, but it happened even before then. So like this is way before my show. And they're saying things that directly, like I've had people on my show saying it's crazy, man. I always talk too much. Like everybody tells me I say too much and I give stories away. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I'm just telling you, like, portals are real. The upside down is way more real than you can imagine. And so just enjoy what you're watching on TV because it's real.
I tell you what, there's a
real.
reason they say the truth is stranger than fiction.
That's true.
And I believe you're absolutely right. I think there's naturally occurring portals that are just part of the rhythm of the universe or whatever. But I think this stuff is them punching new ones, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning.
He said concerning.
So I think listen. It's so crazy because there's the I don't even know how to define it. So there's the CERN punching holes, portals into the time-space continuum or whatever.
Right.
There's that, but there's also the more mystical way of doing the portals,
Right.
Sure.
Which are very real.
Yep.
There's probably, like, I guess you could even go along the lines of, at least originally on like the Skinwalker Ranch area, the portals that are there are probably at least a little more, is natural the right word? I don't know. Like like Skinwalker stuff is obviously very dark.
Right.
But is all the stuff happening in that area because of the Skinwalkers? I don't know. I think the Skinwalkers might be a result of what's happening in that area.
Exactly.
But then there's people. There's people who are just willy-nilly just going to these other dimensions and then coming back with I'm telling you, man, it gets crazy, and I just can't wait to tell everybody about it. It's nuts.
I can't wait to hear about it too, brother.
Definitely.
That's exciting stuff. So yeah, I mean, anytime you want to come on and let us know when you're about to break the seal on this, for sure, man.
Absolutely.
You're always welcome here.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys will be definitely part of the media circuit that I have to go on when I do this.
Yes,
But,
definitely. Yes. Yes.
Awesome, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I'm chomping at the bit. I just can't wait until
I can tell. Yeah.
I can because this thing is different in the sense that it started off as an interview for the confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I was done talking to the dude, I'm like, I can't release this on the confessionals. This is way too important. This is way too big. And then I did some investigating, and I talked to people that he mentioned, like he didn't think I'd be able to track down. I tracked him down, like, oh, I got him now. This guy's playing games with me now. And they're like, no, I don't know who that guy is, but he's right. And I'm like, what? You know? And then I'm like, well, okay. I know the answer is going to be no. You're not going to want to talk to me. You don't know who I am, but I got to ask, would you want to come and talk to me? And they're like, actually, yeah, because this kind of stuff I can't talk to a counselor about. They'll think I'm crazy. So if you're willing to listen, I'll talk to you. And then I'm talking to another person for 2.5 hours, and they're telling me even more stuff. And I'm just like,
man,
oh, man, what did I get into? And so, like, this is like a whole thing. And I just, like, it's going to be a whole podcast, but I can't. I don't think the best way to go about it is the way I do the confessionals, where it's just interview based.
Sure.
Right.
That's the easiest way for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to. You ever listen to those podcasts through the company Wondery, where they it's more like investigative journalism?
Oh no.
I feel like I got to do it that way, but
Okay.
I don't know how to do that. Like I'm just a talker. I just talk. Like I don't know how to be like, okay, let's cut to clip B from interview C and play that now. And it's just like, so my wife is trying to help me organize it all and stuff. But I'm talking like, we have so many holes to go down. Like we could spend probably at least 1 or 2 episodes just on the topic of Dogman, just on the topic of Bigfoot, just the portals, just these other realms, talking about Nephilim. Like there's so much that goes into this. Like I really believe what I'm going to come out with is like a focal centerpiece of a puzzle that all this other stuff attaches to.
Yeah.
It's absolutely berserk, man. Like it's crazy. But anyways, I'm probably just talking like nonsense. People are like, what the heck is he talking about? I know. I'm sorry.
Everybody's
I'm
tracking.
excited about it. I just can't.
Yeah. No, I think we're all tracking exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm thinking I'm going to have to make this segment into a podcast for us. Thanks, Tony.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, I tell you what, we're about a minute out from the next break. Do you want to sit on hold and join us again, or what do you got time for?
No, I gotta go.
Okay, brother.
I'm at it's 11:30 my time, and I still got to produce Tuesday's show next week because
I've got one to do
I'm
for
here at
Sunday.
the office. I'm supposed to be working. I'm talking to you guys.
We appreciate
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, this is money for us.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, brother, you're anytime you want to come on and you know, talk more about this, I'd love to talk to you because I find this absolutely fascinating too. But thanks, man, for taking the time
Absolutely,
and
brother.
coming on the show.
Yeah, nice to have you in.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll be talking. Don't worry about that.
Sweet.
All right, brother. Well, thanks again, and my best to the family.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
All
See you.
right.
All right,
See
good
you,
night.
Tony. Wow.
That was
Wow.
incredible. That was I mean, I'm really, really, really excited to see what he's got. I mean, he's just I don't know. He's like giving us the base ground here.
I know. It's like the major teaser.
I want to dive into this now. I want to hear what he's got. So I'm chomping as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages, and we'll do the last leg of the show. So
There you
stand
go.
by. We'll be right back.
All right.
and gentlemen, it's, this is the part I love about the show is that we can plot a course, but the show is a life of its own.
It did.
And,
We get caught up in different portals.
Yeah, I really appreciate Tony calling in. That was really cool.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
again, Mr. Merkel, for calling in and being a part of the journey tonight. I very much am excited to know what he's got.
Yes.
I mean, I'm
Wow,
like,
he's just
I was the kid that was always sneaking looks inside of my presents
Right.
because I couldn't wait. I became an artist at peeling Scotch tape off a wrapping paper. I could unwrap and rewrap presents like nobody's business, but I can't unwrap this. I don't know what he's got, ladies and gentlemen, but I am absolutely
Chomping
thrilled.
at the bit to get it.
Yeah, and chomping at the bit to have a closer look at what he's got cooking under the hood there. That sounded all wrong, but anyway, I want to know about the portals, ladies and gentlemen.
Pull
Okay.
back the covers and find out.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's get to another caller
Yeah.
here. We got another caller on the horn, so let's get to this, and this is from area code 716.
Who's on the blower?
Who's on the horn with us?
It's Ron the Sage. How you guys doing?
Hi, Ron the Sage. Welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I hope Tony's still listening because I got a story about portals.
Okay, by all means, go ahead.
I did an interview with you for your other podcast,
Yep.
and we spoke about dogs,
Yes.
if you remember.
Mhm.
Well, there's another part to that story that happened a week later.
By all means, take us there, brother.
We, as a group, we were investigating unexplained phenomena of these large black dogs with red eyes.
Okay.
And we had managed to cite them again about a week later from the incident I explained on the other show.
Mm-hmm.
And we are following them through the trails, and as we come to the end of the trails, they run out into the only open area in this section, because there was a big open clearing in the woods.
Okay.
They run and just simply fade away, but as they fade away, the sky opens up, and there's like a rainbow aura that appears in the sky. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of the aurora borealis.
Oh yeah, I've seen Northern Lights many times. Yeah.
Right. They're almost always green. Well, what we saw looked exactly like the aurora borealis, but it was multiple colors: red, purple, green. There was blue, and this incident occurred at dusk. It created a rift in the sky, and on the other side you could see stars that shouldn't have been out because of the time of day it was.
Oh, okay.
And we just stood there. There were 12 of us standing at the edge of this field looking up going, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
And it slowly faded out. It was absolutely, I mean, how do you explain something? You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
like, wow, you know?
Like a rift had opened.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of the story from, Norse mythology, the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, sure. Yep. That's
I mean,
really
that's
cool.
kind of what it looked like, as a giant rainbow in the sky in the middle of the night.
We got to kind of wonder, maybe that inspired some of the legends, something like that. A site like that might have inspired some of their legends, like the Rainbow Bridge to Midgard, between Midgard and Valhalla. Yeah. That's very interesting.
And so it really kind of threw us all off. We didn't even, here we are. We got 4 guys with cameras, a guy with the recording equipment, and we just stood there staring. Not one of us thought to turn the recorders on or anything. We just stood there looking at it as it faded away.
So you never got any kind of readings or any
No.
yeah, any kind of proof, I don't know, energetically or whatever, that was there, but you definitely saw it visually. That's still powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It was, people go, well, why I would have just whipped out my camera or I turned on my record button on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It it's not that simple.
Right. Yeah.
Just stood there in shock, every one of us.
Yeah, and I think, it's funny that you say that, because that's, of course, a theme that comes up all the time for skeptics. They're like, well, everybody's got a cell phone. Why don't they take out a picture? Well, when you're in the midst of seeing something that just defies your understanding of reality, the kind of last thing you're thinking of is getting a selfie. You're just like taking in this moment that doesn't make sense. And, I think it's easy to be on the outside and criticize that. Interestingly enough, you said that you guys didn't take readings, and that kind of brought me back. I'd gone ghost investigating with a friend of mine. His name's Dan Pruitt. He's been a guest on the show as well. And he was we were talking about portals, because the idea is that some places have portals, and perhaps spirits are bridging their world and our world through these portals. And one of the tools that he brought with was actually radioactive detector, like a Geiger counter kind of thing, but it was basically tuned for gamma, because according to him, and he's a brilliant guy, he said that if a portal opens, there should be a gamma burst that would come through that would indicate that a portal had opened. And oddly enough, when we were in this ghost town in Montana, he did get a gamma burst come through on this one stone menhir site. It was like this, it looks like an ancient placement of stones, kind of similar to Stonehenge, but much smaller. And he did get a gamma burst come through when we were up there. And that doesn't make sense. That shouldn't have happened.
Up at Coloma?
Yeah, up on Coloma. Yep. That was the first year Dan and I went.
It's not the first time I've actually heard someone using a Geiger counter while doing ghost investigations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it makes sense, because if we're talking about doorways or portals or whatever, then there should be an energetic anomaly that can be measured, in the form of gamma, or possibly some other, EMF and other meterable energy readings that might, help punctuate that and substantiate it scientifically. But I really believe those things happen. I'm absolutely convinced. That's a great story, Ron. Wow.
I agree with you on it, because there's more to the dog story. We ran into them another time also, that was cited by a bunch of people.
Sure.
And we did get a picture, but the picture wasn't clear. It was just an amorphous blob in the picture.
Yeah, and that that's kind of another thing. I wonder, and this is just me musing out loud. I don't have any way to quantify this at all. But what if the fact that if some of these things are extra dimensional, would they photograph like everything dimensional here that we're familiar with, or would it be?
How would you photograph a 4D image?
Right.
Or
if something was a 4D entity or something,
would it
show up as a blur? Would it be blurry? Because everyone's those Sasquatch are always blurry. And so maybe there is something to that. That maybe the blur is more of a clue than it is a failing. Maybe that's showing some other anomaly at work.
A good thought.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I love about this show, is the fact that we have so many people adding to the conversation and continuing.
But we only end up with more questions.
Right. But we're on a path though.
It's a journey.
Yeah. I mean, knowledge is a journey.
We are on a journey.
And I think that's true for any pursuit. Once you start diving into it, you realize all the things you don't know. You get to we know enough to ask new questions, I think, which is powerful, because that brings us to another level of understanding. So I think that's good too. But yeah, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron and I did get together and record a podcast, and that'll be airing in the future. So if you're not already a listener of the Paranormal Portal podcast, definitely become one. You can find the Paranormal Portal podcast on all of the major platforms, wherever you find the Confessionals or Sasquatch Chronicles,
or whoever they are.
I have to say, I've been listening to your podcast. I started it at 1.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
I'm impressed with what I've heard so far.
Nice.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really cool. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it. Did somebody do something? Hold on, Ron. I got to do this.
Karen did.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
We appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, Ron, we're just about in the last 15 minutes of the show, but thank you for calling in and adding to our discussion. I appreciate it, brother.
Yep. All right. You have a great day.
All right.
You as well,
Take
sir.
care, everybody. Enjoy the portal.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
Good night, Ron. Thanks. All right. It's very cool. I love when we get some calls.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, that's incredible. There's so many questions, but it's funny. We started talking about doppelgangers and we just went a whole different way.
Yeah, we didn't even get near the end of that story, did we?
No, we
We
touched
got like
it.
2 or 3 in there, and it was it. That was
Yeah,
it.
well,
that's
we're-
kind of awesome, though. I mean, that's the way the
Yeah.
portal rolls.
Exactly. Well, we're going to keep going on that because, with only 15 minutes left, I don't have enough time to dive into anything brand new, but let's continue our journey. Since there's no other calls, we'll just continue with
There
the
we go.
doppelgangers. And next up in our article from
Apple.
Apple Dapple. Oh no, that was from Scooby-Doo and I Dream a Genie. Yeah.
Well, it was
What was
he
that?
was
Babu
Genie.
or
His name's Genie. Yeah.
Babu?
Babu?
Yeah, I think his name was Babu. He was.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I
anyway.
remember. I remember. I can't
Dapple.
remember.
Yeah.
Dapple.
Yeah, he's this clown guy. Yeah. He wasn't very good at it. So.
Neither were we.
Yeah. Neither are we, as it turns out. But let's go to number 3 on this list from the Graveyard Shift on Ranker. Again, these are doppelganger stories. And this is from a Reddit user named Darian. Okay. I haven't met her in real life, but I found her on my Explore page on Instagram. I started following her because she looks just like me, only a little heavier and with different colored eyes.
This is starting to sound like a stalking.
Yeah, exactly. This is a little creepy.
Yeah.
I don't have super conventional looks and don't often see people around that I resemble. She's from the same area that I was born in, but moved away from early in life and is the same age. And I even asked my mom if she'd given birth to twins and never told me. She said no, but I didn't quite believe her until the girl posted that it was her birthday about a month after mine. The weird thing is that I find her personality extremely irritating. All self-care, love yourself, and your soul sisters. Yogurt, granola bowls are my love language. And posts videos on her morning yoga routines and has a side business selling homemade juices. I sort of think she is a version of myself that I would have become had I not left Southern California for a place where winters warp me into a bitter... butthole, I guess. Realistically, though, I think I'm just an evil doppelganger.
Wow. That's amazing. Somebody thinks they're the evil doppelganger.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Good story. I like that one. I kind of was thinking it was weird at first, but I like
Yeah,
I like the way that
yeah.
person presented it.
It's called Genie, yeah. He's Genie's apprentice.
Coworker, yeah, Apple Dapple. Coworker had the same name and looked just like him. And this is by Reddit user Ostrider. He says, I was working at a grocery store for a few months when one day I was introduced to a new coworker. Not only did this man look exactly like me, but he shared the same first name as me. No longer could I have been referred to as E from produce. Instead, I was referred to as Big E since I had a little more muscle and fat on me. And he as Little E. Little E was a really sweet guy. Would bake for the crew, would be a nice guy, and care deeply about his job. And honestly, it was really nice having my doppel around working side by side with me. So this is where it gets a little weird. E had a boyfriend, also named E, who also worked in produce just like us, except for a different store. Originally, when I met him, he didn't look exactly like us. Hair was different, from small features that really made him stand out. Then a few months go by. Coincidentally, all of us decided to clean up for a special event coming. Pretty sure it was a store related, but I can't remember if that was exactly why I wore the suit. And I went to the store. I ran into them, equally as dressed up, ready to attend the same event. E3, now fully cleaned up, also looked exactly like us. I think they're clones, Don. I was confused and concerned among many other emotions, though it was really sweet seeing them together, friendly, flirty. Shame I ruined the moment with my dumb joke. E, go screw yourself. That's not the way. That's not a good joke.
Boy.
All right. Number 5. They were the topic of a group chat. And this is from Reddit user Slumpsterville. Slumpsterville, not Dumpsterville, Slumpsterville. I was stopped by a guy at a concert who insisted that he take a picture of me because I looked just like his friend. Well, I reluctantly agreed and went on with my night. The next day, I was at a local breakfast place eating when somebody approached my table, held up his phone, and asked if I was the person in the photo on his phone. Well, sure enough, it was me. Apparently, he was in a group chat with my doppelganger and the guy I met at the concert the night before. Minutes later, my doppelganger and the concert goer walk in to join their friend. We had a good laugh about it. Oh, that's cool. I mean, these are more like coincidental people looking like each other, so they're not really the traditional doppelganger stories that I was expecting, but, you know, what if? What if there's only so many faces? What if there's only so many ways people can look? Well, then, you know, eventually you're going to bump into people that look like you, or at least hear about them. So, number 6, friends at school thought she had a twin. And this is from your Reddit user, Ilon Hazmu. I switched to a new school in 5th grade, and people started asking about my twin sister. Well, I didn't have a twin sister. Turns out there was a girl in 6th grade, excuse me, who looked identical to me. Our parents couldn't tell us apart, and had the kind of name that would logically have been a twin name with mine. We were friends for a while, then went our separate ways when she moved on to junior high. But wait, time passed. I moved all over the U.S., eventually ended up in the state adjacent to where I grew up, Arizona, after growing up in California, where a lot of priced-out Californians also moved. About 2 years in, I started having people like store clerks comment on having talked with me a day or two earlier. Creepiest was when I got on a bus to about a stop earlier than usual, and the bus driver said, "Wait, you just got off a stop ago." Well, I hadn't. I was wearing a distinctive outfit. My last mall trip before moving on to the opposite coast, I bought a leather jacket at a store and I never shop at, and the clerk asked if I wanted to open a credit account, saying she knows I like their clothes because I'm in there all the time. I'd been to that mall maybe twice in the entire prior year. So I think my hometown twin also relocated to a major city in Arizona about the time of the Great Recession and went through some of the same style choices as I did. I didn't seriously try looking her up, partly because I didn't want to find out that she hadn't moved there. So was there another one? So again, these are lookalikes more than anything, but we only got 8 minutes left, so we're going to continue journeying through these lookalikes. Randomly approached for a photo opportunity. From Redditor, the Dreamland 6. Okay. Someone randomly approached me and said, "Can I take a picture of you? You look exactly like someone I know." As weird as that was, I was really creeped out, and I realized I was friends with the guy in question. He was on my soccer team in high school. And as it turned out, he was basically my twin. We even had similar Canadian heritages, maybe a long-lost relative. What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Just the long lost relative portion.
Oh, okay. All right. This is from Redditor Flappy. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh.
Hey, what's the part 2 of the crawler story?
That's going to have to wait till tomorrow because we just don't have time for it. But
okay.
that was one that we covered on Wednesday's show. Remember that one from Phantoms and Monsters?
Oh, yeah.
That long one? I've got part 2 ready to go, but it's going to take at least an entire half-hour segment to cover the part 2 of it. So that's why we're not covering it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to have to tune in tomorrow night. And that'll be, of course, at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube or TFR Live.
Suspense is killing.
I know, right?
They're calling for it. They want you to do that story.
I know, but we only have 6 minutes. I can't do it in 6 minutes. We only, even with the time that we had after the call,
right?
I didn't have enough time, so that's why we went back to this. Sorry, folks. Just tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We'll get into part 2 of that, and I will, share links to it afterwards.
No, Farm's calling you a tease. No.
Ooh, yeah.
That's going to cost you a membership, mister.
Yeah, I guess you better join.
You know what? That's what you should do is you should just... There you go. You want part 2? Become a member and he'll read it and you get it in the members only portion. There you go.
Don's always working the sales.
Jeez.
All right. So even her mom couldn't tell them apart. This is by some Reddit user that I'm not going to go into details about because it's inappropriate. People at my dance school kept telling me I looked a lot like an Emily, name changed, but I had never seen or met her. At the year-end show, suddenly a stage mommy started yelling at me that I'm in the wrong costume and I should be backstage, not in the prep room. Turns out that was Emily's mom. And that's when I finally met Emily, and she came to ask her mom why she was yelling at some poor random girl. Emily turned out to be quite nice, though, and we never really talked about anything other than how people kept confusing us. And to be fair to her mom, we really did look alike at the time, but still. They're interesting stories, right? As everybody like filing out of the door.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. See you later. See you tomorrow night. Come on, guys. Stick with it. They attended the same school and became friends. From Redditor Moome, I don't know, Mume. I ran into my doppelganger when I was in 6th grade. I was walking up a flight of stairs to class, and she was walking down. Our eyes met, and we both stopped cold in our tracks and just stared at each other. I just felt like I was looking in the mirror. Her features were almost exactly like mine, all the way down to freckles on her nose, but she was a little shorter than me, and we were both pretty thrown off guard and nervously started a conversation. It explained a lot because both of us had experienced being mistaken for each other several times. The next day, we had lunch together, and all of our friends were blown away and kept asking us if we were twins separated at birth. She ended up being a good friend for a long time, and as we got older, we looked less alike, though. Yeah, that happens. I mean, yeah. Looks change, right, Don?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Even twins. You've got identical twins. Eventually, their bodies start to mature in different ways, and things just you just don't look exactly the same anymore.
Right. Well, this one is the title of this one brought up something that I thought was pretty funny. So,
okay.
So there are like celebrity lookalikes, and actually in New Year's Eve a few years ago or several years ago, remember the Korean song that was so big and that everybody was Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Well, that guy, I think his name is Psy or something like that. Well, there was a
it's more like
there was a lookalike guy that was just walking around, and he plotted it out pretty cleverly. But he even got himself like some bodyguards to walk with him.
Right.
And he went to all these VIP clubs all over
He started doing it
in LA.
style?
Yeah, no, they just let him in.
Oh.
He didn't have to wait in any of the lines. He just got
Wow.
brushed right in.
Nice.
And he partied the whole night, basically VIP, just because he looked like it.
Yeah.
Another guy looked just like Ed Sheeran, and he did the same thing. He even gotten invited to a musical venue because they thought he was Ed Sheeran. So
Broke them Gangnam Style.
yeah, well, Gangnam Style.
That's not what I said, but okay.
What I don't know if I want to know what you said. Redditor Moon Monkey. I had a very confusing time in Brazil because it turned out I was a dead ringer for a lead singer in a well-known rock band. Kept seeing people staring and whispering, and it wasn't until someone came up to my wife and asked if I was really him, and we found out what was going on. I'd never heard of the dude, but we Googled him, and yep, we could have been twins. Very odd, since then we've both changed, so it doesn't happen anymore.
There you go.
I actually had somebody confuse me for a celebrity once, and it was you remember the show Touched by Angel?
Yeah, it had Edward French in it. Ed French from Little House on the Prairie. Victor French. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about the one that had like Della, whatever, and it was the ones where they'd. It's kind of like the I don't know. Anyway, they're supposed to be earthbound angels. Well, there's a guy on there who's the angel of death. His name was Andrew on the show, but his name was John Dye, and he's since passed away, which is tragic because he died pretty young, tragically and ironically, I guess. But I was always confused for him. Even my own family, like my grandmother, would say she was going home to go watch me on TV, and I'd never really seen the guy, so I didn't know. But I was at a KFC once. And with a girlfriend at the time, and this woman, this older lady, was just sitting in the booth and eyeing me and kind of smirking and doing the side whispering and pointing and side whispering, and I was like, "What's going on here? I don't know what's going on." I'm eating KFC, I've got like my butt and my hands full of grease and like original crispy cooking, and finally at the end of the meal, their end of the meal, she kind of sheepishly walks over. She said, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I just wanted you to know I really love your show." And I was like, and I didn't know what to do, but I was like, all I could think was go, oh, well, I'm going to let her have this moment. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then she just walked out. So for her, it was this incredible moment. And for me, it was incredibly awkward because I had no idea what was going on. And it was later that I learned about this touched by an angel thing. And yeah, I mean, again, it was kind of that same thing. There's a period of time we looked like each other, but then it's, changed. He changed, I changed, and then he's, of course, passed away, so I don't think I look like him at all anymore. But, God, I hope not. Sorry. That's it for us.
That's the end of the movie.
There's the bell.
It's the end of the show.
End of the movie, end of the show, end of the production. But we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh. And come in tomorrow night. We'll get into part 2 of the Walker story.
It's been a lot of teasers tonight, huh?
Ooh,
Good
lots
night.
of them. Good night, everybody.